Growing cherries does not necessarily require that you have a green thumb or extensive gardening experience. There are a few essentials, however, that are needed in order to successfully grow cherries. Proper planting guidelines include choosing the right location and type of soil, plenty of sunshine and proper drainage. The area where you reside will also be an important factor. With proper preparation and planning, you can enjoy the harvest of growing cherries in your own backyard. Here are some helpful hints and tips for how to grow cherries. Realize first and foremost that cherries cannot be grown in all regions of the world. If you are in doubt as to your own particular growing zone and its compatibility for growing cherries, contact your local garden center or landscaping and nursery store to explore your options. Do some research to learn about the many varieties of cherries that you can grow. Some varieties may do better in certain growing zones than in others. Select a cherry variety that is compatible with the climate in which you live. Choosing the wrong variety of cherry can result in problems such as cherry leaf spot, brown rot and fruit cracking. The type of cherry that you decide to grow should depend on your growing zone and how much work and effort you are willing to put into growing and caring for them. Choose a tart variety of cherry to grow if you want to use them primarily for cooking, such as in preserves and pies. Tart cherries are hardier, tend to have less disease and are more tolerant of extreme temperatures. Tart cherry trees are ornamental and tend to be smaller overall in size, which makes them easy to care for through pruning and harvesting. Select a sweet variety of cherry if you want to grow them primarily for eating. Growing sweet cherries requires more time in pruning and spraying to protect against disease. The sweet cherry is also the variety that attracts birds more often, so extra efforts will have to be made in protecting your cherry trees. Plant your cherry trees in a location that will provide sunshine, soil that is well drained and proper circulation of air. Choose an elevated site over one that is located in low areas where colder temperatures settle. Do not plant your cherry trees in a location that has previously been used to plant tomatoes, melons, strawberries or peaches. Cherries are very susceptible to several diseases including verticillium wilt. Provide space for your cherry trees to grow after you plant them. Allow approximately 12 feet spacing between dwarf-sized cherry plants. Standard-sized cherry plants require twice the amount of distance between plants. Use good, rich soil as you put your cherry plants into the ground and cover the roots. Engaging the depth of the hole, it should not be too much deeper than the original container in which it was placed prior to its purchase. Fertilize your cherry trees annually during the spring. Once they start to bear fruit, wait until after harvesting time to fertilize the trees. Follow the guidelines in watering, pruning and spraying your cherry trees based on the particular variety that you purchased. Remember that some varieties are hardier than others. Realize that birds will be attracted to your plants and that you will need to protect them in order to enjoy the cherries and not to have the fruit eaten before it is harvested. There are several methods that you can use to protect your cherry trees. Explore possible options including netting as well as fencing to surround the perimeters of your cherry trees. Birds can easily get caught in netting unless you use the correct gauge and drape it properly. Contact your local garden center to learn about methods to safeguard your cherry trees that will not harm nearby wildlife. Monitor your cherry trees as they grow. The initial cherry blossoms that flower during spring will produce a beautiful display. With proper care, your cherry trees can provide you with